So I want to preface this video with the fact that this is not my standard video. I don't normally create videos on how to use Notion, and in fact, you're not really going to learn how to use Notion, but I'm going to show you how I use Notion to create consumable content. Also, this video is not in any way sponsored by Notion. I created a poll on Twitter asking if you'd like to see a video on how I use Notion to track my content creation process. So I'm going to show you what Notion is, how I use it, and I'm going to give you the template that I use. You can find the link to that template in the description below. Let me quickly show you what Notion is and how it can help you track things. Notion was built as an all-in-one workspace, and it really defies traditional categorization. It's crazy how much you can actually do with Notion, how flexible it is, and how customizable it is. You can use it as a note taker, you can create wikis, and you can use it for project and task tracking, which is what I use it for. It also has a built-in Kanban functionality, much like Trello. It has a crazy hybrid markdown system that I'll show you later. And you can also link within documents to other documents. You can create databases, create checklists. You can collaborate with others. So if you have a team, Notion is a collaborative workspace. There's just so much that you can do with it. There's also a ton of templates that you can choose from, such as habit trackers, calendars, and to-do lists. Let's look at the pricing real quick. They very recently updated their pricing structure. It's now completely free for personal use. You can get unlimited pages and blocks, you can share with 5 guests, and you can sync across devices. If you do work with a team, you may want to upgrade your plan, but for the majority of content creators, I think that the personal plan will work just fine. Because Notion is so robust, some find it difficult to get started. It can be overwhelming and sometimes confusing just because it's so customizable. So we're going to go through how I use it, and hopefully it will make sense to you. Before I started using Notion, I really didn't have a system at all. I just used Google Docs and randomly named folders on my computer, and it was just a mess. So let's take a look at Notion. So here it is. I have my content planner, my course planner, and then I have this video planner tracker template. This template is what my other trackers are based on. It looks a lot like a spreadsheet, but this is basically a database. And unlike spreadsheets, it's much more flexible. You can actually look at them in different views, such as Kanban view and calendar view, and I'll show you those in a minute. So here we have columns with different types of information, but the cool thing about Notion is that a database here really is a database. It isn't just a spreadsheet of information. Every single row is actually its own page, and within these pages, you can put whatever you want, including other databases. So it can get really, really powerful. So first, let me just give you an overview of how this works. So when I think of a new content idea, I could just type here and I could say, new JavaScript, if I could type script features. But if I do this and I open this one up, now we're just presented with a blank page. And that's fine if all we wanted was a blank page. But I want some templated information. So this template actually has another template built in. So instead of clicking new here, we're going to click on the drop-down menu and then select project template. We'll go through the rest of this in a minute, but for now, I'm just going to type in the title. New JavaScript features. By default, the template gives the video a number of 999. This is because I have this view set up to sort by the video number descending. This way, the project will always be at the top, so everything that is active should be near the top. Now I'm going to set the status of this to idea. Now notice that it disappeared. So I have several different views set up in this template. I have an idea view specifically set up. And there it is. So I don't want to clutter my other views with things that I'm not actively working on. So when I have a new idea for content, I just type in the title and set the status to idea. When it's time to take an idea and start working with it, I could either change the status here, or I could change to another view, which is the board status view. And this is much like the Trello Kanban view. So I could take it here and I could drag it over into another status. And we can also look at projects with a calendar view. And this will show us when the project was published or is scheduled to be published. And the last view is my active view. So this filters out any of the ideas or published projects to truly only show me my active projects. Now, all of these views can be customized to your liking. You can change these or create new views. Since I moved this into an active status, I want to actually set the video number on this one. I'll set it to 4. And the video numbering is very important to my process. Like I said before, I used random folder names and had no system of keeping track of my projects. And now I have a folder where I keep each project and it's numbered corresponding to the number in Notion. So it's very easy for me to find assets while I'm creating the content. I keep all of my images, thumbnails, screen recordings, code examples, all of that in these folders. Let's go ahead and open this project. And then we can hit this Open as Page to make it full screen. And here we have access to the same data that shows up in the table along with some other stuff. We have the publish date if we know which date this is scheduled to be published. We can keep track of sponsors. We can enter tags. We can add multiple tags. And then this will be easy down the road. If I wanted to look at all of my JavaScript tutorials, I could easily search for them. And then the URL, I would add the YouTube URL once it's published. And then moving down, we have the description. That's where I would put my YouTube description. Title ideas is a toggle. And within that, we have bullet points, so we can list multiple title ideas. Keywords, same thing. And then sponsor information. If there's anything specific to the sponsor that you need to remember, you could add that here. And then lastly, we have our outline script. So if you've noticed, I've been referring to content planning and not specifically video planning. So this started as a YouTube video planner for me, but recently I started creating other content such as blogs and Instagram posts. At first, I only created an outline with main points that I wanted to cover and some code examples. I realized that this was really close to being a blog post already. I just needed to spend a little extra time to fill in the blanks and polish it up. So now just about every one of my projects become a video, blog, and Instagram post with very little effort. So let me step you through my script creation process. Notice that this opened up as a new page. So this is a page within a page. And we have some breadcrumbs here at the top to help us navigate. Now Notion uses a hybrid markdown system. So if I click here and then I type /, we'll see all of the options. We have our basic blocks, text, page, to-do list, headings, bullet lists, toggles, quotes, dividers, callouts, and then we have some inline. We can mention people. So if we're working with a team, we can use collaboration here. We have databases, table, board, gallery, media, image, videos. I use code blocks a lot. Embeds, we can embed code pen, table of contents. There's just so much here. You can change color, change background. Each block is independent. So I always start out with my headings, just like creating an outline. So I'll type /2, and that's going to give me a heading 2, and then enter. So I'll just type, this is my first speaking point. And then I'll create another one. This is my second speaking point. And then I'll just keep creating all of my basic headlines that I want to cover. And then I'll start filling them in. So if I click here and hit enter, by default, this is going to be a text block. And so I could just start typing whatever random text in here. If I hit enter again, that will be another text block, or you could view this as a paragraph. But we can change each of these by just pressing / and then selecting the appropriate block. So let's say I want to insert a code block. I could just type CODE, and now I have a code block. So I could type in here, console log hi, and you see that it has syntax highlighting. And that is based on the selected language. So if we click here, we can see all of the languages that it supports. There are many, and we could even search here to make it easier. Let me add some more text here. And so the really cool thing about this is that this is basically Markdown. I could highlight all of this and copy and paste it into any other Markdown editor, such as the editor on dev.to, and it will be properly formatted for me. Let me just open up Notepad and see I could just paste in here, and that is proper Markdown. So now I'll record the video, post this on my personal blog and sometimes on other blogs such as dev.to, and I'll create an Instagram post, all based off of the information in this project. Now don't forget, the link to my template is in the description below. You will have to sign up for a Notion account, but again, it's completely free. And when you click the link, this is what you're going to see. Just click duplicate and that will copy the template into Notion, and you can customize it and start using it however you like. So Notion, in my opinion, is the best all-in-one workspace for planning and tracking projects. Let me know what you think. Do you use something different? Are you going to give Notion a try? Help me out by liking this video and subscribing if you haven't already.